Okay, we need a new question. Joey's unhappy.
You can tell because he's making uncomfortable moaning sounds.
He does that. He does
Can
that.
you write me sleep? I want to sleep
As
every day.
opposed
most comfortable moaning
like
sounds.
coming true.
So yes, yeah, it's true. So Raven sent this question into our suggestion box. Do you want me to read it? When warnings go off for natural disasters, are you the type to panic and hide or leave? Prepare for surviving it, ignore it, or film it?
I mean, how
I'm-
intense are we talking about here?
Okay,
Natural
listen.
disasters. So it could be anything from what happened to me today, which was tornado warnings, to like hurricane warnings. I don't know, volcano warnings, like
Yeah,
nuclear war.
Listen.
I'm gonna be
Wait,
honest.
wait,
I
that's
hear
not
I hear a tornado warning. I pretty much ignore it.
Yeah. So, like, look,
Depends on what it is.
not to me, because I grew up in Florida. We had hella crazy hurricanes, particularly when I was like in middle to high school, and I mean, I guess we prepared. Technically, we prepared for surviving it, but my attitude was also like film it or ignore it. So like, and we even at one point we had the hurricane proof windows. We didn't have to board up our windows, so like we did just ignore it.
I think that surprising no one, my response to natural disasters is usually to like detach from it. Like I'll
I can also just ignore it.
yeah, ignore it. Like I'll just like hear that there's like a tornado or a hurricane, and I'll be like, oh, and like I'll keep doing my thing, and then I'll be like, hey Krista, do you think that's like serious? And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, ignore it.
Yeah.
I usually prepare for surviving it, I guess. I usually, like, if there's sirens going off, I have been ignoring it lately.
We live in Ohio, guys. What do
like,
you want?
It happens a lot, and, like, there isn't really a good place to hide, like, in my apartment complex, except the bathroom. I mean, I could sit in the bathroom, but, like, if a tornado comes and it destroys the apartment complex, that's too bad. That's it.
That's it.
Happens.
That's the end.
So,
like,
sorry. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. So I usually go for shelter and prepare for surviving it, or just ignore it, depending on how bad of the situation it is.
I nominate Johnny to be overly focused on preparing for hurricanes. Like whenever there's a hurricane,
What are we nominating
he has to
again?
run to the
You
store.
will
like,
all
emergency
live. I will assure that you all live through everything this next year.
And then what I do is a mix of hide, or well, I guess prepare for hide. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I worded this weird. I sit in my bathroom, which I count as preparing for it. I like take my phone charger in there and stuff. But then I periodically come out of the bathroom and film it.
Yeah.
So I'm both.
Yeah, there have been times where I've gone outside and I've tried to like look in the sky to see if I could see tornadoes forming. I've definitely tornado watched like in my area, because you can tell like if the clouds get like really dark, I'm like, oh, something's happening.
So I'm sure everyone has seen that video of the guy outside in hurricane force winds and rain with like the American flag, and who is like head thrashing with his long metal hair.
What? I've never seen this. Hold on.
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
it's
Google this shit right now.
That is a completely emotionally understandable position from my perspective. Some of you know me and knew that back in college I got super pissed and was rage posting on Facebook about them setting off the alarms and having us do tornado drill and all sitting on the first floor. Like they did this mandatory thing, and I was super pissed about that because I was like, I literally would ignore this.
Yes.
And one friend of ours who will go nameless, but who was like, "That's super dangerous. You need to take that seriously." And I was like, "You don't understand the degree to which I am serious about not caring right now. I am not being sarcastic. I am not being like hyperbolic. I am 100% genuine in not caring about the weather, no matter how hazardous it is." And then like Paul came in and was like, "Not all men fear death."
I mean, who does? We're men. We don't fear death for ourselves. We fear death for our women and children.
I think that, to be fair, when you grow up with a tornado that hit and destroyed a school like 10 minutes away from you,
it did.
And sorry, 10 miles, not 10 minutes, like 10 miles away from me.
Oh yeah.
And I was sitting in the basement. I could hear the winds, man. Like you get a little traumatized. So there's still that like almost like panic reaction for a moment, but then I just ignore that, and then it really only gets to the point like if the winds are getting really bad, then I go into the bathroom. But I like to film it mostly.
Yeah,
I'm out there like filming the dark clouds and the siren.
We had so many tornado drills in elementary school. We would have to sit in front of the lockers with like our hands like above our head and like laying down.
See, I grew up in Pennsylvania, so when I went to college in Mississippi and they were like, "There's a tornado happening," I was like, "The fuck? What are you talking about?" And weirdly enough, the very first time that happened, I remember walking out in the parking lot, and I shit you not, almost struck by a lightning. It landed like inches like in front of me.
The weather was like, "Paul, this is dangerous. Go inside, you dipshit."
I mean, I think I did, to be fair, lay in a field and watch the next one.
Oh
so.
my
God. Yeah. There's just something very like mysterious. Well, there's something very exciting in going outside when the wind literally knocking you over. And there's also something in one of the hurricanes that came over where I lived. The eye came over us, and the radio was all like, "Do not go outside, do not go to the store, the storm is not over," and fucking everyone went outside. And like walking around in my neighborhood in just like the eeriest calm that is the eye of the storm was just like, yo, this fucks.
Yeah. I want to point something out about tornadoes too, because usually when a tornado is getting close, suddenly everything gets still and quiet, and it's like the creepiest shit.
Yes.
And then the winds pick up if there's a tornado nearby, and I've always been told it sounds like a train. So it's very like it's a very specific thing that happens when the all the atmosphere just gets quiet like that. You have like almost like a reaction internally where you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking die." Like it's so weird.
Yeah.
So usually that's what sends me to the bathroom, is when it gets like that. And then of course for some fucking reason, some guy today, because I did have a tornado, again for the listeners, I had a tornado watch today, and some guy thought it would be a great idea right when it's silent for a little bit, and then the wind suddenly picked up, and at the same time this guy like was doing some kind of construction with a drill, and decided to do that right when the winds came up. So it did sound like a train for a second. I about fucking flipped, dude. Like, I was so mad. I'm like, why are you doing construction while there's sirens going off? I swear to God. So that's been mine.
Awesome.
But mostly I just film it.
Yeah. There's something like some people in some areas, they're just like, look, they live in that place, and the people who live there have like evolved the expectation, or like evolved the ability to just be a little more calm even though something incredibly destructive is coming. It's like people who live in Japan. It's like the whole thing is like shaking apart like half the time, but they're like, it is what it is.
I'll never understand that. I still feel like if there's immediate danger, like you should hide no matter how many times it's happened.
Yeah, when I was in New Zealand, I felt quite a few earthquakes, and like there were like tiny like little aftershocks that I like felt when I was sleeping, and I was just like,
Yeah. Like No, I totally get what you're saying, Charlie. It's just that like in Florida, like we would make fun of people who would evacuate.
Like, no,
like
stay and risk
People
your
enjoy
life.
dying. I'm so confused. Yeah,
Anyway.
we've had tornadoes my whole life. I just
Lord of man.
maybe it's because I've watched videos of people who do that exact thing and then get swept up by the tornado seconds later.
Oh yeah, it happens. People are just stupid, but like I don't get people who chase storms. Like that's really dumb.
I don't know. It also looks kind of exciting. I did say I would film it though.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm a storm chaser. New career. It's so dark outside, by the way. Our storm hasn't really ended yet. I feel like there's like natural disaster warnings kind of everywhere, right?
We had flash flood warnings.
Yeah, in Florida, I don't remember warnings or sirens or anything. Like we don't have siren systems.
You had a Oh, you guys didn't get like sirens for hurricanes?
Nope, we don't have sirens because we know they're coming way in advance because they like generate off like the tip of like Africa or some shit. And so they watch them in advance and like the news just like keeps everyone updated.
Oh,
and then
I didn't know you didn't have sirens.
No, yeah.
They don't come, have like, some kind of alert system. I even get an alert on my phone if we have like a tornado watch.
Yeah,
like, we know in advance that the storm's coming. So like
well, like, yeah, like hurricanes can't show up fast enough to be immediately dangerous like that. Like they're not like flash floods or anything like that, where like they can happen instantly and you need to know, hey, there is a high probability of flash floods in the next 12 hours or whatever. Or
hurricanes
or a tornado
form over the ocean, don't they? They don't.
Yeah. They form out far away, and the weather reporting just watches them, and by the time they think they're going to hit landfall in the U.S., they already have been reporting for like a week or two about like projected routes and categories, predictions, and whether or not you should move up north or evacuate somewhere or just stay in place. We know well in advance. So yeah, it's a very particular problem.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess that's what makes tornadoes different. I literally like was putting in my grocery order and had just submitted it, and then the tornado alarms went off today.
Right. And that's another reason why, like, having lived in like another state with like occasional tornado warnings happening very rapidly, it would be annoying to me because I'd be going about my life and then they'd be like, tornado, you got to stop everything. And I'm like, no, go away. It's like you need to give me at least 2 weeks heads up.
You need to go through the proper channels.
So I'm not one to run. Oh no. Wait, can I pick 3?
You can pick whichever one.
Listen, I'm definitely one that's going to like already be thinking about how to survive it.
Okay.
But I also might be recording.
Yep.
100%. Especially if it's a cool one.
I was talking about my tornado thing today, and I said the same thing. I'm like, I pretty much like once the winds picked up, I like moved into the bathroom, but ever so often I came out and like took pictures and filmed it.
Because like imagine like, you don't see it very often. It's not like we're like in the Midwest and we see it all the time and they're like, it's just another tornado. When you see it, it's like, wow, I haven't seen one of them. That's dangerous, but it's kind of cool at the same time.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So with everyone definitely having answered in the chronological sequence that would make sense, let's get on to this episode of Teen Titans Roll. there's this big flash of light, and then for a second you saw God again, and he was like, "Good luck, buddy." And you flashed back, the light dissipates, and you are in the car again, like struggling, like with your hands around Gizmo's throat.
Yes.
And you guys, you look out of the windshield, like out the front of the car, and you are falling through the air
Ah!
towards open water below.
No!
And so this car, it doesn't really seal hermetically. It wasn't designed like a submarine because you guys already had a submarine. So you figured that was covered. Now it does have that hover option that you could switch the car to. You'll need to do it now
yes.
so that you go.
Or,
all right,
or I could let Gizmo drown and no, okay, fine, I'll hit the button.
Okay. So you are careening towards the open water, and you hit the button, and the tires convert into those anti-grav hovering things again, and you guys splash down into the water, but like you now have like buoyancy, and you pop back up. And you guys like rock back and forth pretty violently for a moment, and the first thing you notice is that it's daytime, and it was nighttime just a moment before.
I think I just sit silently, just stunned for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, Gizmo is immediately not doing that. He just immediately starts he looks around. He's like starts yelling, "Ah! What did you do, you butt munch? Where are we? Don't you know not to?" He's like, "You idiot! Don't you know not to activate multiple transspatial spaces in the same static space at once?"
All right, kid. First of all, you are the one at the appropriate height for butt munching. Second of all, no, I didn't. Okay. Hey, don't panic. Look,
I was panicking. He just is like, he screams at you, and his eyes are like, his eyes are starting to tear up. You're panicking. I'm not panicking. He opens the window and he looks outside. Is that salt water?
Yes, that is salt water. I think.
He splashes some back into your face.
Stop that! Do you really want to start this right now? No.
He yells, and he crawls out of the car onto the roof.
You sit still while I scan everything I can to know where the heck we are.
Mm-hmm. All right.
What can I do?
Well, you want to try to start scanning things?
Yes, I want to start scanning things. Geography. Anything. Where are we? Can I get a signal?
All right. Roll Arcana to scan with your system some boosted range because of the car's sensor output.
27.
Okay. So, scanning normal frequencies, you're getting no GPS ping whatsoever. No signals, otherwise satellite signals, no radio frequencies, no nothing. You're getting no indication of any signal.
can I write a program real quick to detect physical like islands or like terrain? Can I scan terrain or find a way to scan terrain?
Well, since this is not a
Yeah.
submarine, it's not equipped with sonar, but you could build a sonar pulse so that it could pick up land masses or sea creatures and stuff like that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea right there. I'm gonna get to work on that. And I'll look, you. I am gonna build some detection thing to detect land masses, so we can figure out where we are. You look. What can you do? You're smart, right?
He goes. He's on the roof. He's been looking around with his like little goggle attachments, which seem to have some zoom function, and he's like, "I'm not seeing any land masses." He says, he goes, "What can I do? I can do more than you," which is to say, I know that it's probably not a good idea to immediately start cannibalizing the vehicle, the only technology we have access to right away before we have a safe place to land.
Oh yeah, that exactly. We should not do anything we can to find a safe place to land. So why don't you just go start swimming that way and tell me if you find something?
Fine. Yeah, fine. But if I do find something, I'm not coming back. And he sets off his jetpack, and these wings like spring out of his backpack, and he rockets away. And he's he seems to be he's gonna try to find land in a larger radius from up above.
Hey, hey is he? I take pause. I'm like, is he really just flying out there?
Well, he's doing like he seems like right now it's like he's gonna try to find land, and he said if he does, he's not coming back for you.
I'm like, but wait, he wasn't supposed to actually do it. Okay. You know what?
Alone.
I'm gonna make this device even harder. Hold on. I start making my device.
Okay. What system in the car are you cannibalizing to retrofit into a sonar system?
Oh no, I have to do that, don't I? Shiznit.
Now, I will also say it's mostly your choice. I want to let it be your choice, though. Probably, no matter what you use, you'll have to pull some components from like the big subwoofer
right
system, because that already just has like, like the sonics involved, or you could pull from the sonic cannon. But in either case, you'll either have to pull from a little bit from the sonic cannons and the subwoofer system. But you could focus more primarily on any other system for the majority of components.
I mean, I either have the sound system or my internet uplink. Probably are the two that I would be looking at, like something
right.
Either detection wise or sound wise. Let's. Gosh, I'd hate to lose the sound system. That would suck.
It's pretty important.
Yeah, it really is. I should probably get something that is normally used for detection, like satellite uplink or something like that. Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So you pull from the majority of those systems. Those systems are no longer operable in order to build this sonar machine. But you start getting sonographic readings when you finally finish this a couple hours later.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even think you need to roll, because Cyborg's like an expert in sonics particularly. So but it just takes some time, and it takes the sacrifice of some of the existing systems. You start to scan, and you start getting readings and you're scanning. What you immediately realize is that like the fleeting hope that you had that maybe you would just like spatially or like temporarily displaced and like shot yourself out into the Pacific Ocean, like past California a little ways,
Yeah.
quickly disappears as you the readings you're getting, you're not getting a lot of like reflection off of ocean like it would be if you were just off the coast of California. It's like you're in deep ocean.
All right. Well,
and on the very edges of your sonar, like straight down, there are some pings on the outskirts of sensor range for these weird structures, like you're getting a little bit of mapping of these these spires or points.
What?
Semi rectangular. You're not sure what that's about.
Okay, I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna put a little ping of where I see those structures, and then I'm gonna be like, I don't know if I can easily get down there without. I mean, I could spend some time making water breathing gear for myself, but I think the kid's right. Where'd the kid go? Hey!
So
I go in the direction I saw him go last.
All right. So in a few hours, the kid, he comes flying in from a slightly different direction from where he went out. It seemed he was going mostly up and circular, try to find something, and he exhaustedly plunks back down on the roof, and then pulls himself back into the car, and he's like, "Eh."
Okay, did the deer thing work?
He goes, "There's fucking nothing out there."
There's nothing. Okay,
There's no finally swore.
Yeah.
Do you? How far is my sonar radius?
I think sonar actually has physical limit.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
yeah,
sonar.
but it's. I basically say, yeah. We're in the middle of a lot of water. There look like there's some man-made structures far underwater. You know, if we could travel there and breathe.
Effective range of sonar. So let's say of Burke class destroyers is 74.1 kilometers.
Okay, 5 miles.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
That's deep.
Assuming we could find a way to breathe underwater. Okay.
I mean, yeah, y'all are the. Oh, let me pull up his thing because he's got some stuff, but he is not prepped for exploration today.
All right. Look, Gizmo, this fucking sucks. It doesn't matter whose fault it is or what happened, because there's a lot of blame to spread around. We got to get out of this shit, and I don't know what to do. Look, I could ping. I could create a big ping, and if there's anybody down underneath the ocean, they could find us and probably kill us. We could just take off flying in one direction and hope for the best. Shit.
Let's see. He says, I got this one ability. I can shoot some drones up in the air, and they can write, a sky written message. I just prepared that typically to troll people, to draw a big penis over Jump City.
That's pretty cool, actually. I need to learn that one.
He's like, Yeah, I thought it'd be pretty funny, but maybe we could use that as like a call for help.
I look, I think it's a start. Okay, you put that up in the air, and I'll see if I can send a ping all the way underwater, and if there's some sentient life down there, maybe they'll come up, and if they're gonna try and kill us, we're probably faster than them. So yeah, you ping the sky, I'll ping the sea, and we'll see if anything happens.
He says, "Okay, what should I say? I got 10. I got capacity for 10 words."
10 help. These nuts.
I was gonna say butt bunch, but that's new. I should branch out a little bit.
Oh wait, words, not letters.
Yeah, 10 words.
Cyborg and Gizmo need help. Please come.
Okay.
What he said.
What she said. He's like, "What are you talking about?"
No. Sorry, trying to put in the right words.
No, he's a lot younger than you.
Don't worry about it, kid.
All right. So he shoots off these little rockets
that important.
Yeah. He shoots off these little rockets that fly up real high in the air and start writing out these words. It says,
"Call Robin. Call Robin."
Okay, help. Call Teen Titans. Even though they're butt munches. These nuts.
I look at him and I almost smack him in the head. I'm like, yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
All right. Okay. So you guys are there.
You got style, kid. You got style.
Yeah, I know that.
All right, and I guess we are just waiting for several hours to see if anything happens. And of course, yes, I do see if I can make a sound ping down, some that would be audible to if there's anything below us.
So yeah, you can send out sonar pulses in a particular pattern so that they're recognizable as artificial.
SOS, man. Sure, why not?
Yeah, for sure. So you just start sending that in case there are any sentient people or whatever down below. All right. So, are you guys staying put or are you moving at all?
Oh, if we're staying put for a few hours, just to see if either of those things get anything. We'll be put for a few hours.
Okay. So you stay put for a few hours. The skyride only lasts an hour.
Okay.
So it dissipates in that time. He can keep doing it for a little while. Well, he can do it I think 2 times. Yeah, he already used the spell today.
Yeah, we might
use 2 more times.
Well, we might wait till we see something to try it again, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, you can spread it out over more time.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
So, you guys are sitting there. You're sitting in there. It's getting pretty hot. Now, you guys have air conditioning.
Yes.
You can put the air conditioning on blast. Though your eye, you got plenty of time because this thing will last for a while, maybe several days. But you are starting to eye the power usage in the car. You don't know you don't know how long you're going to be out here.
Yeah. We're only going to give our messages so long before we start just flying and seeing if we see something.
Yeah. So you guys are sitting there, and Gizmo, you look up, you hear a crunching sound, and You look up and Gizmo's eating a granola bar.
Wait, you brought food into my car?
He's like, I always have. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I always have some snacks.
Granola. What are you, a vegan?
Oh, shut up. I'm not some hippie.
Sorry. The last guy who ate food in my car was a vegan.
Psh. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You have, like, weird hippie liberals in your team or something.
Hey. I'm the hippie liberal on our team.
Go figure.
Uh,
And he lets out a fart. Which totally like stinks up the interior of the ship.
Oh, I hate this kid.
Of this car.
Just gonna fly around the car for a few minutes, and shooting at the water randomly.
He just starts laughing at you because you're clearly like freaking out, you're tweaking right now, and he finds that hilarious. Because it distracts him from his own panic.
All right, how long has it been since we sent off messages?
Yeah, it's been a few hours.
Okay, there's nothing here. Let's just drive and hope for the best.
Okay, so you guys are gonna pick a direction?
Yes.
All right.
We don't ask north, south, east, west. I don't even know if that's a thing. Looking at the sun.
Well,
how cold,
you do.
How cold is it here?
Okay, so
it's
hot. Okay, so it's hot. It's weirdly a little hotter than well, I mean, you're making some assumptions of like the time of year being similar to your time of year.
And also, if it's like really cold, we could be closer to a polar ice cap. And if it's really warm, we could be closer to the middle.
So from your scanning, you did get electromagnetic, like natural electromagnetic signals. So you do have compass directions.
Sweet.
And those appear to be consistent with a planet the size of Earth. You know, for those dimensions. And it's pretty hot. You'd say hotter than where you left.
All right. I say we head let's go east. East and a little bit north. And I'm doing my best to make a map of whatever I can of where we are and which direction we went and how far we went. And if I get any pings of anything underground, I'm going to take note of where those are underwater.
All right. So on the horizon, you guys don't see any birds. And no indication of nearby land. You're moving along. The sonar, there are these anxiety-filled portions where for several hours you'll be just sailing, hovering over the water, and like those weird structures that you picked up there's none for like a long time. But then every once in a while you would you'll come across more and like at varying rates like of like height, and then they would dip out again.
All right. Can we get I don't know if we can get underwater. Well, we can get high. Hey, stop this thing. I wonder if I can get high enough to get a good view of the planet. Yeah, I would know enough about my systems to know how high I could get up.
Yeah, you could fly up fairly high. He can fly too. He goes, I could maybe give you a boost.
Oh,
with that rocket I used on you that one time. That was super funny.
Oh, yes, I would love that. as long as it doesn't explode and kill me. Which I trust you understand that in these situations, your likelihood of survival is a lot higher with two of us.
Yeah, hero. Everyone needs you.
Yes.
And so you get on the roof, and he will attach the rocket to you, and that'll increase your upward capacity.
There. All right, let's do it. Dun, 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 dun. Rocket boots deploy. Rocket on back, armed.
All right, you blast off into the air.
I hold myself down in a squat, making it look like I'm farting for a second, and I shoot up into the air.
All right, he's like, good luck, and remember that line from Toy Story.
To infinity, and
you're like, to infinity and beyond. He's like, no, rockets explode.
Shit.
No. You're pretty sure he's just trolling you. But you're not 100%.
I try to do quick calculations on the rocket behind me as I fly higher.
All right. Well, it becomes apparent as it reaches the height of its thruster capability that it's not going to explode.
All right. How high can it thrust?
Well, it gets you pretty high.
Okay.
You look out over. Let's see. All right, you look out. You're real high up, and you look out over miles and miles and miles and miles and miles, and you see to the north a little bit, and to the east, a good far away, just little specks in the distance. It looks like there might be some small island chains over in that direction.
Land is better than no land. Anything else?
Other than that, you have the height now. You look out and you see coming in from the west, there's a storm front.
I think we need to go towards the islands and away from the storm front. That's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
And do anything else I possibly could see, or am I getting close to my top height?
Yeah, you're at your top height at this point.
All right. Well,
we don't see much else.
We have something. We have a starting point. Let's get to an island, and if we can get to solid land, we can limit our resource expenditure. Okay. Yep. I shoot. I go back down.
All right. You fly back down. Rocket is spent, and you guys move off in that direction?
Yep.
All right. You sail off at high speed off to the east, and over the course of several hours, the sun sets. The sun starts to go down and set, and the storm front moves ever closer to you all from behind. The winds start to pick up, and the waves start to get much more choppy and tumultuous.
We can outrun this thing.
Until finally, despite your best efforts, the storm is over you. The waves massive. You look back, and your sonar is pinging, and there's warnings going off on your console. And you look back, and you see this wave forming, getting taller and taller and taller, chasing you down.
Yeah, you cannot have my car!
He yells in rage as the tsunami pursues him.
I start shooting the tsunami as we fly at top speed on the other direction. And kid, get on the back of the car and give your own engine boost so we can go faster.
He's like, ah! He starts like slapping like rockets onto the back of the car haphazardly. Yeah. Also, that just reminded me like, hey, can't we nuke the hurricane? This is nuke the hurricane. Anyway, you guys continue on in this fashion, and yeah, I guess we have to we gotta jump to the people back.
All right.
Home. Well, actually, as the storm rushes onward, looming over and arching over your car in this massive tidal wave, about to create this funnel, you move to this other funnel, and someone else riding the wave,
What?
so to speak.
Someone?
So, no, I'm not talking about someone surfing. Shut up.
Okay.
And it visually transitions into the scene with Starfire. You are in this crashing vortex of light and energy as you are straining to keep up with this strange vortex that has you locked in its trajectory.
Okay, so I'm in a vortex, so it's sort of like a whirlpool. Like, give me the best description you can of my situation.
Okay, I will give you the best visual, physical description of the very not physical surroundings. So you feel like you are moving at high warp velocity, and you are exceeding the limitations of known speed that anything greater than the mass of a single atom should be going. And you are going it, and you are like sweating profusely the whole way.
Okay.
And like feeling exhausted and starving, but you can't slow down.
Well, okay.
In fact,
physically you can't slow down?
Yeah, you physically cannot slow down.
Okay.
You feel like you'll get shredded into pieces. And it feels like it's asking more of you every instant. And your perception of time completely like if you've ever done a plank and you know how like a minute becomes like 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, planking is hell. Yeah.
It's like that times 100 billion.
Jesus Christ.
And you have no perception of time. You're having a difficult time thinking. The only thing you can think is about the fact that you can increase speed a little bit for some amount of time with haste.
Yeah.
And that's like almost like the only thought you can muster. But yeah, feel free. Yeah, what would you like to do?
I mean, I've been in survival situations before, and I've been in situations where I've been forced to take certain actions in the past. So yeah, I think that's exactly what I do. I think I haste.
Okay. As you cast haste, this burst of speed, but it's only a very temporary relief. But it does, the magic seems to adjust your body to being in this state a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, relatively, not much, but you feel like this is what, if there's any entity that's supposed to exist in this, they would certainly be employing something like this haste spell to lessen the physical demands. Your mind clears up a little bit, essentially.
Okay.
And you start to be able to see, although you think you might be hallucinating, you start to be able to see in the twisting vortex of lightning around you, you start to be able to see like images, like thoughts or memories like moving past you,
Mhm.
but there are things. Some are of things you've experienced. You and your friends fighting Slade, or fighting some other villain, or when you and your friends met, or there are like these images of like you getting taken away to be a slave.
Mhm.
But some of the images don't make sense. They have you or your friends in them, but they're like Slade. They're like Slade, like grabbing Raven, and there's like this like war-torn like wasteland over Jump City,
Mhm.
and there's like this large entity in the background roaring into the sky, and there's like all these other images that don't make sense to you, that have never happened.
Yeah.
And there's like weird other versions of the things that have already happened.
Yeah.
So you're not exactly sure what you're looking at.
Okay. So these are like visions.
Yeah, they're like in the mass of energy that you zoom past. Like these things appear in between the weird twisting arcs of energy.
Okay. So I say to whatever is around me, if you are running ahead of me, I simply must catch up to you, and I try to increase my speed.
Okay, you strain against the thing, and you feel your voice. It persists. It's like it's ripped away from you as you're moving so fast that sound couldn't possibly keep up.
Mm-hmm.
But like it also travels far ahead of you somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And you even feel like there's moments where you're lapping it and you hear your voice again. And it just persists as it dissipates strangely backwards and forwards along this continuum.
I'm gonna try something kind of weird, and I don't know if this. But you know, we're in experimental light speed physics now.
Yeah.
So I am going to say a bunch of compliments to myself. I'm going to be like, you are doing great, Starfire. You're faster than you were before. You will eventually catch the voice ahead of you. And I'm going to make sure those voices are all bouncing around, and I'm going to try my best to feed off of the positive emotion.
Okay.
Positive self-talk.
Because that is what fuels my powers. And if we're in abstract magical territory here, whatever.
Right.
Might as well shoot it.
Fair enough. As you yell into the continuum these words to bolster your spirit in this trying situation, we will move to the rest of the group
Yay.
in the normal world.
Okay.
So Beast Boy, Raven, and Robin, you have since met up, and Beast Boy has told you this weird situation that happened where everyone else got disappeared.
So the car was there, and then it just vanished into thin air. I do not know what happened at all. They could have warped to. Could it warp to space? I don't know what his car could do.
I get really fast. Close to Beast Boy's face, and I'm like looking him over at like an uncomfortably close space, and I'm just like, "Are you pranking us right now?"
No.
Are you pranking us, bro?
No, I'm not.
Funny.
I'm not. I'm freaking out. They're gone.
I seem to stare at him a moment longer, and then I sort of back off because I don't see signs of lying.
Okay, we should try and like find their signals. Can we like try? I guess their radio signals aren't working on the Titan communicators. They were flying over a bridge, and then the car just vanished. It just disappeared. I don't know. They're not answering their radios.
I look at Robin to see if he has any clue what the fuck Beast Boy's talking about.
We were away for a couple, like, not that long, Beast Boy. Like, okay, paperwork.
I couldn't catch up. They were like, the car was going super fast, and I was flying behind it, and there was like, was there like a flash? It was like
yeah, it was like there was this weird field generated around the car, and then it like collapsed into a single point of like bright light and was gone.
Oh my god, they shrunk.
They went to the quantum realm with Ant-Man.
Does that sound like anything that I've in my like time studying sounds familiar at all?
Roll history.
I'm clueless. I don't know what he's talking about.
Of course, history is my one that's not that good.
Gizmo and Cyborg.
21.
Quantumania.
Quantumania.
So, you think that based on things that Batman has talked about, now most of your experience with Batman has been like Gotham related, right? Like, a fucking crazy guy got out of the asylum and started throwing his shit everywhere again, like that kind of thing. But like, or like drugs or like crime bosses or whatever. But whenever he would like have to go off and do stuff with the Justice League, like Batman would come back with like this like particularly, he would like exacerbated element to his demeanor about like, and you would like go over like what he made public of like the mission logs, and it was always this wacky shit like so so you would know that there are things like there's like spatial, like, you know, like Star Trek stuff, like there are ships that exist that can like condense time to a closer point and travel great distances by, you know, like warping. So that could have happened, and they could just be really far away. There are also weird things with like, yeah, like time travel is a thing that has happened to Batman. And also, you know, like sometimes coinciding with that like weird dimensional timeline shifts. So like where they went could be as simple as like they're on the other side of the country, the planet, the timeline, or somewhere else entirely.
Jeez.
Anything is possible, and you don't know enough about science to know particularly which one happened.
So, do I know enough about our radios to know how far they go?
The radios can definitely go pretty far because you've toyed, like they can go across the country easy. They can go across the world fairly easy. You've also been toying with initiatives for tertiary members of the it's kind of your honorary Titan. You've just started playing around with it, but you had your first member in Aqualad, and so that was positive towards the initiative. And you've toyed with the necessity of having contact with people stationed on the other side of the planet, and you definitely, like, yeah, the communicators do have that capacity.
So first thing, I'm going to whip out the communicator. It's like, just try it again. Just Cyborg, Starfire, come in. Cyborg, Starfire, come in. And I just wait.
There's no response.
I'm in hell.
Are we at the location where the car disappeared?
Yes.
Is it like over water?
So you guys were
we?
flying. So it was crashing back down onto a bridge, and it had hit the straightaway. So like it had gotten over the river, and it was back on the street. But like shortly after it crashed back down onto the street, it warped out.
Okay. I am on my hands and knees, and I'm casting locate object on the car, and I think it's tiny.
Okay. You do not sense the car.
They're not here. Car's not
And
tiny.
you probably were also like walking around as an ant or something.
Yes. Yes, I am.
So if they're not here and they're not picking up the communicator, it at least cuts down on them shrinking or them being on planet.
You think that so if Cyborg were here, you'd think he might have some sophisticated sensors or things at the tower that could maybe scan this area more thoroughly. You might be able to go there and get those, and maybe you'd be able to figure out how to operate them to get any more sophisticated readings. But other than that, yeah, it's up to you. Like, yeah, you could do that. There might be other ways to also find out where they went.
Raven, do you know anything about seeing the like a scry? I've heard about it in some kind of like, I mean, in my limited knowledge of magic, is that something that somebody that we know could do? Potentially locate them?
I can scribe, but I don't think it can go to other dimensions.
Would I know anything about that?
I mean, a scry would be able to contact like where we can reach them with our radios, right?
Yeah. Well, it could also go if they were on another planet, then you could scry them there.
I could try.
But so yeah, you could try that. It could help eliminate potential options. So let's see. So for Raven, Raven would know that if they traveled somewhere transdimensionally, that finding them with some sort of magic detection would require some particularly powerful magic, some particularly powerful rituals that she's not quite capable of at this time. It's like you're not strong enough, but maybe there are people who are strong enough in the magical arts to get a sense to where they went.
I tell Robin, I'm like, we would probably need to find someone who's better at magic than I am. And she still sometimes like eyes Beast Boy because she's not sure that he's telling the whole truth.
Well, we could try and get a hold of John Constantine again. I don't know if that's going to be our best option.
I forget, did he take the communicator?
No, he didn't. He was like, nah. he was like, I might be there if you need me, maybe. That's what he said.
You're an honorary Teen Titan.
Really fast, because my brain isn't fully working. Who is with Plastic Man?
What do you mean? Like his girlfriend, wife, whatever? Yeah. So Agent Nancy Morgan is the FBI agent that is with with him. You do have contact to them.
Because I know I would know some people in the Justice League would definitely fit this bill.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I whip out my communicator and dial no, I'm not gonna talk to Plastic Man. I'm gonna call Agent
Agent Morgan. Okay.
Agent Morgan.
All right. Fair enough. All right. You call Agent Morgan, and she says, "Oh, yes, Robin. It's good to hear from you. We've almost got the final details together for that for our plans in for the plans we were discussing before. Did you need something?
Actually, I could use a little bit of a favor. So when I was trying to take a villain back to and book them with the police, some of my friends disappeared, and we're not sure exactly where they went.
Disappeared? Like you think they've been kidnapped? Perhaps I could put some feelers out.
No,
my local contacts.
Not quite like that. Like in a blip of energy that goes to a singular point. They're not coming in through the communicator, so I feel like they might be off world.
I'm gonna sit down and start scrying to see if I could sense them in any planetary sense.
Yeah. Okay, so you finish saying this to Agent Morgan, and it's just quiet for a moment, and then you hear like putting her mouth like away from the phone, and she just yells, "Plaz! Justice League shit!" And he you hear him stumbling over, and he's like, "Oh, hey kid, what's up? You need some help? People are missing. What happened?"
People are missing in a singular, some kind of energy blast, singular point. I wasn't.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that, but if you need me to call the Justice League, I can get you a phone call.
If you could get one of the more magically talented people to help out, that'd be great.
He says, yeah. Maybe I could do that. Give me a few hours. And then he's walking away, and you hear him say, "Okay, this person doesn't like me. This person hates me. They owe me a favor, even though they don't think they do." And then the phone hangs up.
Well, they're probably dead at this point.
So you are scrying, Beast Boy, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Scrying.
I'm scrying on Cyborg, I guess.
So you attempt to reach out with your magical vision, and you reach out as far as your senses can, and you cannot grab a hold of Cyborg wherever he is.
I am pouting. He's not anywhere on the planets. Anywhere.
Do you have sending? Do druids get sending?
I don't think so, actually. I don't think they do. That's like wizard shiz. Let me see.
Wizard shit.
It was still helpful, Beast Boy. Kind of confirmed where I was thinking, that they somehow got either sent forward, backwards in time, or to another dimension. It at least, narrowed it down for us.
Wait, would a scry go across time?
No.
Scry is only in.
Well, it says plane of existence. Now I am assuming different points in time are different planes, are different points in existence.
Yeah.
I don't know. You've asked me a really troubling question.
Yeah, sending is only for bards, clerics, and wizards, unfortunately. I actually did look that up before for the Slade arc, so that I could see if I could send a secret message to the team, but I can't. But nah.
Yeah. But nah.
All I could do was scry on them, and that didn't help. Yeah.
I mean, until Plaz gets back to us, we could try and go back to the tower and see if we can rig up some of Cyborg stuff to help us out here. I mean, I don't know what we're going to really do because I'm not really too far into the magic side of things. I'm more of a mechanical guy myself.
So, like, this is like when we went into Raven's mirror. Like, what if they went inside, like, his car dimension?
His car has a pocket dimension.
I mean, yeah, it could be. I mean,
but then where would the car would still be here, wouldn't it?
Maybe the car went inside the car dimension.
How could a car go inside its own car dimension?
I mean, you ever turn a bag inside out?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like that. Maybe it's just kind of in the
Wouldn't
car
the
dimension.
car be
now.
here inside out then?
Listen, this is more magic stuff that I don't know about. I blow things up.
I turn into animals.
Which is more magical, so you should at least understand magic.
Not this magic. This is like science magic. I mean, I guess mine is animal science.
Where's Cyborg when you need him? Oh, right.
In his car.
His car is really awesome and in ways you never even knew. Can take you through space and time.
It took us to hell.
So you go back to the tower, you gather up a bunch of things from Cyborg's room, like sophisticated sensors and things, weird tricorder bullshit. And you come back to the scene. Oh, also, I mean, yeah. Do you want to like you could if this is the road. Do you want to like mark this place off with like caution tape or something? I'm sure he would have some.
Probably, yeah. I mean, it's a crime scene. We have a missing persons case.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. You block it off so that people don't come through this way.
And I do have to say, like, specifically when I'm going through Cyborg stuff, I'm specifically looking for something that could find, like, dimension rifts and temporal abnormalities.
All right. Yeah. Cool. I think you would know enough to say what things to get, and then operating the devices is going to be an Arcana check for you when you've gotten back. So you can roll that if you would like.
I'm guessing we don't have any interdimensional scanners.
I'm looking at all of my stuff that I have on my actual class list.
Yeah, well, and then Cyborg has a lot more like random bullshit science.
Yeah.
23.
23. Okay, so you managed to understand enough about the interfaces to start picking up readings. You don't understand all of it, but there are some interesting energy spikes, and there's some odd readings on something that is listed in the display as vibrational sequence. It looks like weirdly out of whack, but you don't really know why that's significant. So someone with more scientific knowledge would have to look over these readings.
I'm definitely going to be writing down everything in like a journal, just in case, whoever comes to help us can actually decipher it.
Right.
Is there anything in the tower that is like linked to Cyborg somehow? Or is like
what isn't linked to Cyborg?
I was about to say that. I was like, everything's linked to Cyborg.
Well, I mean, like, is like reading or sensor wise? I guess not.
Like to pick up his scent? Is that what you're suggesting?
Across the world.
He does like to put his scent on everything. You know that, right?
Interdimensional scent. Yes, I know that the remote control smells like grapes, and
yes,
yeah. the car keys, they smell like bubblegum, and
Could you sense artificial sense across space and time?
Well, are you the Borg queen with like a trans chronometer that like a transspatial chronometer that can like sense all her consciences throughout time? Because that would be really time and space. Because that would be really useful.
I'm sorry, the fucking Borg queen can smell things across time and space.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Borg queen?
It was in Picard, okay?
Nerd.
Wait, did she?
Anyway.
Did we literally get a scene where she just starts sniffing the air, and she's like, "That way, 10 years ago."
Not quite, but like same general feel.
That is the most awesome D&D creature ever, and I'm about to make it.
Okay.
Spell
Anyway,
across time. Hold on, Phil needs a new spell.
Anyway, so you guys are searching things. You have these readings. About the time that you finish taking the readings, there's this pop of light, like package just appears.
Nice.
So yeah, this little package has appeared. It has a note on it.
I'd look at the note.
All right. You look at the note. You open it. It says, "They're in this like drunken scrawling." There's like, there's the note says, "Hey, sorry I couldn't be there in person. I'm in hell right now." Literally. "But it looks like your friends kind of are too. So, hope these totems help. Although I wouldn't recommend going where the girl is." And it's signed JC.
Jesus
Christ?
It's from Jesus Christ.
Whoa! Who is the? Do we have him in the Justice League? Can we get him on the Titans?
No, it's from John Constantine. It's the package is like this greasy paper bag. like that probably had peanuts in it from a bar at one point, and you open it and you're like, ugh. And so inside there is this this medallion that has like the shape of a wave on it, and in the crest of the wave is a skull. And then there's this little like, it's like a beaker, like it's like a little glass tube with like two metal stoppers on both ends, and inside of it is like is like a little like sparking line of like lightning, of like electricity.
So, Raven, what do you make of these?
What are these?
What are these, DM?
So for Raven, these are focuses that you could apply to a tuning. You could apply for tuning for transport to another plane of existence that corresponds to their vibrational frequency.
Okay.
Did he tell us which one was for which person? Because he said to avoid the one where the girl is, but he didn't say which one.
Oh, he didn't say. I could say he clarified, but knowing it's John, no, he didn't clarify.
Well, of course I'm gonna pick up the lightning one.
Okay.
Because it's more I don't know, it's more interesting.
And the other one has a skull on it. Yeah.
Yeah, the other one sounds like death, so that's the one you should avoid, right? Anyway, yeah, Raven picked the lightning one. And looks at it for a minute.
All right, you feel there's this So you start to focus on it and look at it. And there's this clear jolt of this electrical sensation as you feel it. And you feel that you could follow this along a vibrational pathway to another plane of existence. However, you know enough about travel in this fashion to know it's like it doesn't lead to a good end point. Like it leads to an explicitly immediately hazardous like endpoint. It's like someone having the wisdom to know, don't put these coordinates into the starship or we're going to warp out in the center of a star. Like you are like, oh, okay, this, we can't physically travel there because we can, but it won't be good for us.
Okay. So like the plot of Loki.
Okay, I'm trying to remember Loki now.
Close enough. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to look at the medallion. Do I get the same vibe?
You get this sense of, that, yeah, there's nothing quite as esoterically dangerous. Yeah. You could go here. There's nothing. It's you could travel to this place.
Even though there's a skull on it.
Yeah, there is a skull and like a big wave.
So I don't get the impression that this is also like just as, I guess, foreboding.
Well, there's no sense of like immediate annihilation.
Okay.
on an existential scale of like at a cosmically existential scale.
Okay.
Would only be mostly dead.
I hold up the medallion and I'm like, so at least one of them we can follow with this. I don't know who, because he didn't specify.
What about the other one?
She just shrugs and says, that would be a little dangerous.
Well, then that one's probably for Starfire.
She just thinks for a moment and then nods.
So I guess we're going to the Skull Whale.
Yeah, you could do that. You also have these readings that you're not quite sure what to do with exactly. But so Robin, go ahead and roll intelligence for me.
Why don't I ever get investigation 8?
8. Oh no.
Wouldn't this be investigation since I'm thinking of something?
Sure.
Add another 8 to that. That's 16.
Okay. So as you're looking at this vial in Raven's hand, you're looking at it for a moment. The lightning arc, this yellow like line of electricity. There's a moment where it flickers and it creates this very like stereotypical zigzag. And you have this thought. You just think about a friend that you know that you haven't thought about in a while. You haven't worked with in a while. And then you look back down at these readings and you think, huh, yeah, maybe he could make more sense of this. You think about your friend. You know him. You know even his secret identity. Wally West. But he better known as Kid Flash.
Do I have his number?
Yeah, you got his number.
Whip out the phone and call Wally West.
All right, you're like, I gotta make a phone call real quick.
I kind of like walk away a little bit.
And we'll cut away. All right. So you are racing across the ocean. This massive tsunami is forming behind you. It's like this is the kind of thing that would like easily knock out like an entire coastal state. And you guys are rushing past the storm ahead of it is getting really choppy.
Can we go? Can we go up? No, that wouldn't work.
You don't have explicit flying capability for the car.
Right. So if we did try to do that, we might lose the car.
Also, the tsunami behind you, it is like it's miles, like hot. It's miles behind you, but it is also like miles tall. This is like a superstorm, and you immediately realize, like, oh, this planet is not in an okay situation. No. It's probably entirely flooded.
Chestnut. Need to modify the car into a submersible.
Okay, do you want to try to quickly hermetically seal the car so you can go under the waves?
Yes. Can I make this happen on the fly while we're running? Merging the technology of my Cloak of the Manta Ray into the car. Yes. Yes. If I can do that on the fly, brilliant.
Well, so it's sort of pseudo on the fly. It's like you have you have several, like you might have like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But like it is definitely like once the 30 minutes like comes, you're dead. Mm-hmm. So like you can hit autopilot and then just start like telling Gizmo to start helping you
actually
seal the car.
Even if it's just enough to help us survive the wave, even if it doesn't let us get deep or anything like that, I think it's worth trying. So that's our first goal, is making it something that could survive the wave underwater.
You hit autopilot and start conducting sealant process for the car.
I electronically give him as many schematics as I have, and I'm like, this now.
He starts running around applying fixes, going, we're gonna die. No, don't do that. This is more efficient. And you're like, that'll take too long. And like you're like arguing as you guys are like applying upgrades to the car. You're probably like tack welding like the doors shut and things like that. And like doing stuff like that. But finally you've applied the underwater capability. You've sufficiently protected the engine, for like sealed the hood and engine compartment so that it doesn't get water in it in the air intake. You basically like converted air intake into a different type of propulsion. It's not an explicit submarine. It can't operate that way, but if it gets dunked under the water for a long time, it won't like immediately like flood and collapse and flood.
All right, phase 1 is complete. We probably can survive this.
All right. Well, we'll see as the storm is now upon you. The wave crashes over and you are sucked down underneath in a massive wave current. Are you guys buckled in or are you free? Okay. You start getting like whiplashed around as the car is pulled under the water in a massive underwater current for a long time. You're not sure how long, but it feels like you guys are just like at the power of like whatever like tidal forces are happening for hours. You get sucked deep below the waves, and you can see in the light of the car's forward lights, those points far below, they're cities. They're wrecked buildings of skyscrapers.
Oh shit.
Far, far below the waves. and you do recognize some. You do recognize.
What?
Yeah, this was once the continental United States.
Ah!
And
no! Sorry,
I'm gonna need
pulling up a Planet of the Apes.
Play the Waterworld theme. Whatever that is. It's been forever.
Yeah. Nobody cares.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and give me a Constitution save.
Okay. That's a 15.
Incredibly low given your bonus.
Yes, it is.
So you guys are getting tossed around. You are sealed in, but like some loose things are flying around the car. It's like you're in a car crash where you're like rolling over, but you're rolling over for like 30 minutes. And you're getting pulled against the against the seat belt, and you're getting whipped around, and at a certain point it lasts for so long, and you're in this state for so long that and you're getting like exhausted from like trying to fight against like being whiplashed around. Until at a certain point, Gizmo first, you see him fall unconscious, and your systems start to fade into unconsciousness as well.
What? I thought having my legs cut off helped with that.
You're Fox.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, so now you start to come back into consciousness as this glare of sunlight. You notice the sun is out once again. The storm has passed, and you hear this scraping sound, and you're sitting there in the car, like as you like hazily are coming back into consciousness, and there is it's daylight outside, and you're sideways, like you're hanging sideways, like the car is being lifted. You're out of the water. You can see outside. You can see the sky.
Okay.
And you're being pulled up into like this vessel, and you're hanging sideways right now. And you get pulled up. You hear this like winch, this sound of like this metal winch.
Oh, metal.
And you're not a wench. There's no.
Why is she made of metal?
Oh yes. Your engineering mind immediately starts thinking about the fact, of identifying like what the kind of like mechanics that is based on sound, and you think you're being lifted by some sort of primitive crane, and suddenly you guys are like let down sideways on whatever the surface of this vessel is, and there's this like you see on your side of the door. Gizmo starts to wake up and he's like, huh, what? And then on his side of the door, because his side is your side's like on the ground because the car is sideways, his is up, and up there this blade like stabs through the side of the of the door and starts prying the door free, like
no!
And he's screaming as well because it's right next, the blade's right next to him. He's like, I'm gonna die.
I take out my baby. I'm like, she's gonna be okay. She's still alive. Just a little, this crippled. That's all.
And the door is pulled open after some time of multiple of these blades prying at it, and you see standing the sun silhouetted behind them, and you see this figure dressed up in, and then you see multiple figures, 3 in fact, dressed up in pirate swagger and regalia. Are your 3 friends, Raven, Beast Boy, and in the center, Robin. And Robin, you are, in this universe, known as Robin Redblade. And so what would you like to say to these scallywags that you have just pulled up from the ocean to steal their vessel?
Oi! What's all this?
Robin, why are you dressed like a pirate and have a really sick 5 o'clock shadow?
And that is with their swords pointed at you. That is where we will end this episode of Teen Titans Roll.
Yes!
You know, when you gave us the option earlier, for some reason I didn't expect it.
Y'all would have been vampire thralls.
Okay. This would be better.
In the vampire universe, where everyone is vampires. That exists.
Oh
Wait, if everybody
So, I
is a
have a
vampire,
question
does that mean
for
nobody's
you.
a vampire?
Kind of. Well, so in the other universe, when I asked you guys, vampires or pirates, the other one was going to be Earth. Earth. You guys are on Earth 31 right now. We would have done Earth 43, which is is a universe where a world of fear and darkness, where after becoming an even darker creature of the night in order to defeat Dracula, Batman succumbed to his curse and spread the vampire plague to the rest of Earth's heroes, forming the Blood League.
Oh no!
Wow.
I'm pulling up pictures. This isn't good.
What?
I kind of
You've been
want.
watching Sonic Prime recently.
Joey, this
Yeah.
is Sonic Prime.
I was like, hold on.
Totally understand that is DC's fault for making an alternate Earth that is the same thing Sonic Prime did. It is not my fault. I immediately knew that this is Sonic Prime. I was like, dude, that's Sonic Prime, the pirate one. I was like, but whatever. But we'll go with it.
What if Robin would have had a chance to stake Batman in the heart? That would have been pretty cool.
So the funniest thing about the about Earth 43, the vampire one, is that it also says they tried to wage, so like their thirst for blood spread beyond the Earth in the universe. Like they basically like started sucking aliens' blood and stuff, and they wanted to like take over other alternate Earths. And since it's Batman and stuff, they knew how to do that. But they attacked Earth 13, and Earth 13 is like full of a bunch of like magic, like John Constantine types.
Oh no!
And the sorceress Anataz switched their blood craving towards coffee. So then they became a really silly universe where all the vampires just really liked coffee a lot.
Of course, that's what. Of course, that's what went down. Because
so why are not there?
What? What was that?
Why is Starfire not a pirate in this
universe?
universe?
Force?
in the Speed Force? Yeah.
Like all versions of her are trapped there?
Oh no, not all versions.
Why
No.
why doesn't she have a pirate version?
Yeah, no, the other ones are there. I just thought I don't know why. Yeah. No, yeah, there's also a Starfire.
Just like Sonic
there would
Prime, where you don't see one of the characters until later.
Yeah.
Oh, He's called, oh, beautiful. Plastic Man is called Plasma Man. Of course he is.
Man.
Indeed. There's
Oh, hey, Plastic Man's about to eat Deadpool.
What?
I'm kidding. It's the wrong universe. It's somebody else.
What are you looking at?
I don't know what's going on.